hiring a thumbnail designer, what's the approach?
Well, what are your options?
No, I mean, like, what? How would you approach it?
I post. We typically train people because to make great thumbnails is actually not. You don't need to have the best Photoshop skill set. So we'll take people. We'll actually have people come on and do some kind of project that's not related. It'll be like leave comments on our channel, like respond to people on our channel, and make them feel love, and we look for the vibe. How much are they contributing to the conversation, showing love to the community? And then we'll say, hey, thank you for the trial. It's paid trial. Thank you for the trial. We don't have a position full-time for this, but we are looking to hire someone to do some graphic design. Do you want to learn to work on some thumbnails for us? And then...
So people don't typically come in as a thumbnail designer then?
No. Because thumbnail designers suck. People who are thumbnail designers don't ever really look at the data and understand how to make great thumbnails.
That's fair.
They're website designers, they're graphic designers, they're business card designers, they're logo designers. Most of them suck at actually making thumbnails that convert, that work.
Okay.
But that's super teachable. The skill sets, look at my thumbnails. They're not that complex to make. The skill set is super teachable. Like you could take somebody who's never learned Photoshop before and teach them how to use it, and in a day they're making great thumbnails. You could. It's just a super specific skill set. So then what I care about is the person's willingness to learn and how good of a human are they? Like how much do you want to work with them? How much care and love and energy do they have? So that's why we don't hire people who are thumbnail experts.
So how much direction for each thumbnail do you typically give for somebody, like as far as the text goes? Like, do you give them any direction? Do you say, hey, here's the title, come up with a couple of different options for the text? How much freedom do you give them?
Text is a different role. Copywriting is a different role.
Ah, okay. So you have like the copywriter come up with here are the different text options for that video.
Yeah, you need a title and you need a thumbnail copy.
So designer versus copywriter.
Yeah, that's a different role. If you want to combine it, then I'd hire a copywriter and train them how to do thumbnails, not the other way around.
Ooh.
Yeah, copy's harder. Copy's a lot harder to learn. Especially if you're hiring overseas, like English is important.
Yeah.
So it's usually not worth it to put your copywriter on designing thumbnails.
So, just out of curiosity, do you guys have any like standard operating procedures for that then? Besides like your typical like go search for videos that have good titles and then from the title figure out the copy for the thumbnail.
Well, it depends if it's a new video or an old video. For old videos, we're running tons of experiments. Like we might run 20 experiments on the same video.
Same video, wow.
At the same time?
No, but as soon as it's done, you launch another one.
Yeah.
And then when that's done, you launch another one. So we might have our best practice for new videos of what we think would be the best video title to launch with. But then after that, once it gets into testing mode, hey, show me that it's wrong. If Zane comes in and says, you know what? Like we had a guy who came to my Thought Leadership Academy. He's like, you need to put emojis in your titles.
Yeah.
You need to put emojis in your titles. Like, okay. So I told him I've done it, and they've always lost. Really? No. You got to do it. It'll work. Okay, great. Pick a video, give me an emoji, I'll put it in, and it lost. But I would love for it to win. Like if Zane looks at my title and says, Evan, this title is garbage. You don't know what you're doing on titles. That Matthew McConaughey interview, you need to call it. You need to call it Why Matthew McConaughey Loves Apples. And as long as it's kind of close, whatever, I'll test it. We'll test it for a week, see what happens.
But he doesn't just like any apples. He likes Granny Smith apples.
Granny Smith, Texas apples.
Honey pot apples.
No. They've got to be Granny Smith.
I don't know if he likes apples or not. Well,
I mean, at least Granny Smith are green.
same thing with thumbnails. There's been at least 10 people who've tried to take on my thumbnails from people who DM me saying they're thumbnail designers. And a bunch of them have worked for some of the other big YouTube people in my space too. Nobody can win. So it's easier to train that. And it's not that difficult a skill to train. Copy's harder.
Makers, the theme is how can you
What's Zen looking at? Zen, focus.
He's distracted.
I know, so distracting. I just couldn't help it. It hit the button. I was double checking to make sure that what topic won for tomorrow, but you already sealed it and you already doing a 30-second video.
It'll be good. It's actually it'll be a fun one. It's not just basic stuff tomorrow. It'll be a fun one. I'm gonna pull somebody on stage too, and we're gonna workshop something.